Hey guys, hello and welcome to another installment of Vince and Films. My name is Vincent and I'm still living in Paris where I'm trying to break the record of most films seen in a cinema in 1 year. Now today marks the end of week 30, which means we are day 210 and now I have seen 431 films in theaters. We are almost there. Only 69 films left until I reach the minimum requirement. Of course, my objective is to go beyond that in order to make it more difficult for the people that will follow me. And even if that may be me when I'm retired, we'll see. Anyway, this week was not like last week. Last week was more of a, what's it called? French week, I called it, because the main or the most interesting films I saw were French films, rightfully so. They were really good and surprisingly good. But this time we are going back to the basics, meaning that the main, most entertaining, fun films were English or American English, because I saw a lot of or several Alfred Hitchcock films, and I'm still going to do so next week, but also because of a guy called Matthew Vaughn who made a film called Kingsman: The Secret Service as well, but I meant Kingsman: The Golden Circle. I saw both films because I did go to a marathon at the Grand Rex. The Grand Rex is a great theater that has the biggest screen in France. It is about 300 square meters, and I got a great seat because I had friends who waited in line for me early on, and then we just were in the middle and the huge screen. As soon as the screen started to go down, because we have the usual screen that is down the theater at the bottom, but then you have in the middle you have a huge screen that just rolls down, and it's a real event. You have the whole room which is filled with people that have come here before, that is just raving and screaming at the screen going down as if you were in a stadium, and the result was awesome. So I got to see Kingsman: The Secret Service and Kingsman: The Golden Circle in one night on the biggest screen in France, and it was awesome. Now the first one is one of the my favorite films of all times. Not I'm not saying the best one, but it is one of my favorites in terms of cinematic experience and entertainment and all that. And the Golden Circle was a lot of fun. It's undeniable, a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It picked up where the first one left off and enhanced the story, went further on, brought back several characters, but also was very bold in the story points that it chose to go with. So the entertainment was there, the fun was there, the kind of what's it called? A spoof element was still there. So that was fun, and it's definitely a film that is a worthy sequel, I'd say, even though it's not as good as the first one, I thought. But this is not a problem. It's just not as good because it goes more into the action a lot more. It's bigger in scale, and it's special effects and wow and explosions and all that. So it stays entertaining, but it loses some of the heart that you had in the first one. Although, like I said, it still has a lot of heart, still has, I mean, your heartstrings will be pulled. You will laugh, you will cry, you will shout at the screen. It's a great experience that I can only highly recommend. The second film I saw that was also awesome was Blade Runner 2049. Now, this is a special film that I had much expectations towards, and I think they were fulfilled. I saw it in IMAX 3D, which I think is the way you should watch it, at least in IMAX, if not 3D. I'm not a fan of 3D. I didn't have a choice, but it's a worthy sequel, I think, as well. And it picks up in the tone and the pace of the first one, and just enhances these elements of sounds, of visuals. Especially, yeah, it's normal. I mean, we are almost 40 years later after the first one, and the performances are great. And what is good about the story is that it is long. It's 2 hours and 43, but I thought it was worthwhile, and I would like to go back to watch it, but I have other films to see, unfortunately, and it doesn't count if I go watch the film twice. Um, what it did was, first, it's a story on its own, meaning that yes, there are some throwbacks and references to the first one, but it explains to you the context, and then it has a story of its own with Ryan Gosling, and even if there's Harrison Ford as well in his character, it stays um, focused on Ryan Gosling and the people that live in this time. And also what they did is with the references, I thought they weren't forced and brought some elements to the story, and they weren't necessary, meaning that it, like I said, it's not forced, and there were story points that were connected to the first one, but they were connected because it was a nice wink and wasn't necessary, going back to the fact that it is a story on its own. So if you like visuals, great music, Ryan Gosling, and especially Denis Villeneuve, I mean, Denis Villeneuve for me has never ever had a miss for now. Great films: Sicario, Prisoners, Enemy, and Arrival. And this time, unfortunately, it's not doing so well at the box office, especially in the United States, because it just had about 30 million on its opening weekend on a $150 million budget. If you add the marketing and advertisement, it must be at almost 250. So it still has a lot of money to get back, and I hope it will, because it's definitely a film that is worth seeing on the big screen. And I'd like to see a sequel to that one, even though some characters might not come back. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. See you next week. Bye. Salut.